own business and to be in the future. So that's basically what we do. So we do lots of protection and then we do lots of transformation because to leverage new technology, usually you have to transform part of your business. And we do also lots of acceleration. So we have some labs, some accelerators. We've been based here in San Francisco for 11 years now, and we have an office in Paris, an office in Shanghai. So the idea is really to be in the ecosystem of innovation and to leverage that innovation for the bank, for the BNP Paribas, and also for the clients. We also organize this kind of meetup because it's very important for us to be a voice, to speak up, and to share also our vision about topics that are very important. And even if we are quite well known for tech detection, we always want to talk about the usage, talk about the people, because it's very important. If you look at the industrial revolution we are in, if you look at the first one, the steam, the second one, electricity, I like to think about the TV show Downton Abbey. I don't know if lots of people have watched it, but it was interesting because you could look at this in first and second industrial revolution in the TV show, and you could see how it was impacting the way they were living, how they were using this revolution. So that was very interesting. And tonight we'll talk about the fourth industrial revolution with two amazing speakers, and I'm very happy to welcome Koen and Jonathan to the audience tonight. It's interesting because when we will talk about the fourth industrial revolution, for sure we'll talk about robotics, we'll talk about automation, we'll talk about intelligence, artificial intelligence, but we will also talk about how it will change the way we work, so we'll talk about the future of work, but also the way we live in the city, so we'll talk a lot also about the data. Does it make the city more inclusive for people? So really it's an open discussion, we don't have all the answers, but it's very promising, so I'm very happy. Enjoy the meetup. I have also two amazing colleagues, Arnaud and Jerry, so I leave the floor to you. Thank you.
Yeah, maybe what we are going to do very quickly, we will give the floor to our two speakers, but maybe we will give you a first overview and understanding of what we mean by industrial revolution, and Arnaud will give you some figures and illustrations, but very quickly, and then we will kind of set the stage for the coming speeches. So we stand at the brink of a technological revolution. I think we are all aware of that. What does it mean? That's an interesting question. We don't really know how it will unfold. What we are sure is how massive it will be in terms of scale, scope, and complexity. So, fourth industrial revolution, or unchecked. The term was coined by the economist Klaus Schwab, the founder of the World Economic Forum a few years ago, and it was widely used by intellectuals and also by the media. So why four? Just very quickly, just a bit of history. 2 centuries ago, water and steam power allowed to mechanize production. 100 years later, you have electricity, which allowed to create mass production. 60s, 70s, electronics and information technology allowed to automatize production, and so now we move to the internet era and the Internet of Things era. So let's say that the lines are blurring in between the physical, the digital, and the biological world. Yes, I like that slide just to focus on the adjectives. We have been talking a lot about big data, smart cities or smart mobility, open government. The thing that I like to remember, definitely it's all about data. There was a bit of hype on all two sectors. I think the hype is also necessary to drive the industry, so that's good. It doesn't change the ambition and it doesn't change the end goal, so we are all going toward having at one point big, smart and open data. And Arnaud will give you just a few figures before jumping.
Yeah, so where is the data coming from? So the data is coming from of the IoT. You all know about Fitbits and all, but now we talk about industrial IoT, how the machine centers are connected. They're connected together. And there was a study from McKinsey showing that they predict an impact of $6.2 trillion by less than like 8 years, basically. And that, yes, it will drive a lot of productivity change. So this is really impactful. When we talk about industrial revolution, we also talk about AI, like Natalie said. And this guy is a guy who drove Google change to mobile, and he says that for the last 10 years it was about mobile, but now it will be about AI, and obviously you have a big impact on the industry. When you talk about industrial change, you also talk about 3D printing, and this is an interesting case that 3D printing is also good when the shipping is a little bit expensive, and in space it is. And there's a startup in the Bay, it's called Made in Space. They produced a 3D printer that works in a zero gravity environment. And so if the International Station needs a new tool, you just send the design and they can put it themselves, so it can be really impactful. The fourth industrial revolution is also about robotics, and the affordability is key. There was a study showing that when the robotic arm will be below $5,000, so it will have a big change because a big democratization about it. And a startup that we discovered last year made a robotic arm for the price of a laptop. So basically, it's affordable in terms of price, but it's also affordable in terms of training, because you don't need to code anything. You can just move the arm, and it will learn the movement. So very affordable, and there's today small businesses using it already. So it's not the monopoly of the Amazon or the big ones to have initial impact with robotics now. Closure, so the one who conceptualized the fourth industrial revolution, he explained that what is specific is that it doesn't change only what we're doing, but what we are. It will change ourselves in terms of biotech, for instance. You have a lot of impact, and this is also fundamental for the fourth industrial revolution. And obviously, all these changes, they lead to social impact, and we can question ourselves what will be the economic model of the future. And Elon Musk said that we may need to have a universal basic income to cover the fact that with robotization taking the power of our muscles and AI the power of our brain, we may have to reconfigure our role. But yeah, today we were talking with Emmanuel Says, with a professor at Berkeley, and he was kind of against the idea of universal basic income. And Emmanuel Says is a leading economist about inequalities, and that's why I think it's still a big debate about it. And last point, 65% of the skills that the children who are entering school today that they will need in the future, they don't exist yet. So obviously we have to invent new jobs, we have to invent new tasks, we have to train also ourselves during all our career, and this will drive a big change. And so the fourth industrial revolution will also have these impacts. So now we have the context, and we can have the views of both speakers.
So yeah, Jonathan, I think it's your turn. Yeah, if you want to jump on stage,
you bet.
This is all yours.
Okay.
So I'm the Chief Information Officer of Palo Alto for a bit more than 5 years. I think 7 we met actually 4 years ago. You were a young CIO at the time. I remember during a business trip to Paris. So you will tell us a little bit about the journey you've been through over the years. I won't read your entire biography because it's too long, so you're doing too many things. But just to know that he has been awarded many prizes, and last year he was one of the most influential CIOs in the United States. So thank you, Jonathan. The floor is yours. 20-25 minute speech, and then Q&A at the end.
Cool. Awesome. Let's see if I can.
Okay, first of all, wow, on a Monday night, you're coming out to listen to smart city stuff. You got to commend it for that. So my role for the next 25 to 30 minutes is to make it worth your while. That you are leaving tonight hopefully a little bit more inspired than you were when you came in. So that's the responsibility I take to share with you what we're up to in the city of Palo Alto. So it's a pretty incredible story. Let me go ahead and show you my commute to work every day. This probably is not unlike yours, right? This is the world in which half the population lives in cities, so about 3.6 billion people live in cities. And every week, 3 million more people move into cities. So over the next 20 years or so, another couple of billion people are going to move in. And I would say to you, if we don't sort of fix that, it's just going to progressively get worse, right? This makes me very frustrated. I go about 12 miles, and it can take anywhere from 30 minutes to 40, 50 minutes to get to work, depending on the time I leave. And it should make us furious, because it shouldn't take that much time. The system is broken. Our transportation system is broken. And without taking sort of not only action, but unusual, innovative action, it's on a trajectory to get increasingly worse. So this is the planet in 2017. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about transportation as the main topic today, because it impacts so much of our lives. Tonight's talk isn't something that's abstract, that affects other people, it affects all of us. This is stuff that's going to affect you, it's going to really affect your children and your grandchildren in a very fundamental way. So take a look at this picture to kind of start to reinforce the message. This is the temperature as recorded by NASA over the last 100 years. And as you can probably guess, the areas that are in orange are the average heating areas. And as they are progressively at a certain heat, they're no longer dipping beneath, the temperature they were previously. And as you can see, as we approach the 1990s, into 2000, it's getting pretty hot. This takes us to 2015, but I have to break the news to you.